What the hell? Look at that, it's glitched. What in the... Who the hell did this one? I'm guessing that's what the update I keep putting off would handle. It would rectify that little glitch. But whatever, for now the guy's in a box. He's in a box. Hey everybody, welcome back to Soul Reaver 2. I'm trying to get all these games done before Silent Hill F comes out. Technically it was already released, but I'm not gonna play it until Sunday. But I'm trying to get these games done, so yeah, we are back to play some Soul Reaver 2, and we're gonna proceed from where we last left off over to the I'm gonna proceed over to find the Wind Temple, or the Air Reaver rather. Wind Temple, I'm thinking of Zelda. It's the... Let's lock those guys outside. Yeah, we gotta go to the Air Forge. There we go. I was wondering, why does Raziel look like his PS2 self? I didn't realize I had changed it back. Yeah, so we gotta head back the way we came from Janos' Airy, because we gotta get to the path with the Air Forge, which I believe should be over here. Actually, no, that's just a random guard station up there. How did he get up there? You think he jumped over here? Well, he's gonna have a hell of a fall. Oh, we didn't even kill him. I wanted to see him fall all the way down to his death. There we go. That guy's still alive though. Alright, we made it back to the vista overlooking the lake where Raziel had his conversation with Cain. So now we gotta go in search of the Air Forge. If only I can remember exactly where it is. Okay, so we have the Dark Reaver over there. That path, I think it's that one over there. See if we can glide over here. One thing I don't like about this game is how slow Raziel moves when he's gliding compared to the original Soul Reaver. It moves kind of slow. He was much faster in the previous one. There you go. That guy is drowning. He's too heavy to float with his armor. Look at that drowned rat. We got another trophy. That was for drowning another enemy in the water. Nice. God damn it. That sucked. Now we gotta get back all the way over here. Oh, we got more demons. You know what? Let them handle it. They're professionals. They can handle it, right? Oh, they can't handle this one. Would you guys mind shooting the flaming red horn demons behind you guys? God damn it. Ah, come on. How much damage can he take? Oh, look at that. Got another trophy. Touch the devil. That means we broke the demon's neck. And you see they can still follow you here too. Nice, we got 2 trophies in one go. Awesome. I thought we were gonna have to do that to the demon at the pillars later on, but apparently not. Apparently you can do it right here. Okay, so we cannot climb walls in Spectral Realm. Damn, that means we have to go all the way back here. Because there's no portal to get back to the physical world over here. We need a portal. God damn, they really chose the most inconvenient spot to they really chose the most inconvenient spot to kill us. Where's a portal? We need one to cross over to the other side, but there's none here. Like, they really chose the most inconvenient spot to kill us. God damn it. Yeah, where do we respawn? I'm trying to find a planar portal so we can cross over to the physical world, but there's none here. Holy shit, where do we find a damn portal? Like, come on. There's gotta be one nearby somewhere. We probably should have just avoided that fight, just use the Reaver to kill them quickly. Would have avoided that whole mess. Instead of us wandering throughout this whole cavern here, underwater, wondering where there's a portal we can use to return back to the physical world. The material realm. Yeah, I literally do not see a portal. We might have to start over because I'm not seeing a portal spawning anywhere. Yeah, this sucks. We might have to start over because I cannot For the life of me, I cannot see anywhere where we can transition back. See, we can't do it manually. But there's nothing here, so where do we go? Might just have to start over. Yeah, where the hell do we go? Yeah, this is the worst area in the game by far to get lost in terms of trying to find a portal, because there's none close by. God damn it, Razio. Let's see if we can make it to that balcony. Here we go, finally. Jesus. Damn, it took us what, like 5 minutes to find a damn portal to cross over to the material realm. And we lost the Light Reaver too. Oh yeah, we had to go all the way back up to the vista, overlooking Janos' place right there, just to find the portal to cross over back to the physical world. And now they respawned again. You know what? Screw this guy. Yeah, screw that guy. Yeah, we're not gonna even bother to deal with those guys. Let them handle it. So did they actually kill that other fire-breathing demon? Or did they not? Yeah, looks like they killed him. He's not around. I only killed the one demon, so I assumed they actually managed to kill that guy. Good for them, I suppose. They got one off before we totaled them. Oh, really? Really? Oh damn, we got the wrong Reaver too. We need the dark Reaver, not the light one. Come on. Listen here, asshole. Come on. Really? Really? Come on. Of course we got that guy stuck over there. Come on! God damn it. I used to start right here so we don't have to go all the way back to a portal. Let's get rid of this bitch right here. Listen, back off, fool. Look at it, all we needed was just one more strike, we would kill that guy. You think we can get the light to kill him? Damn, it doesn't affect them. I hope there's a Dark Reaver nearby. Because I really didn't want it to go all the way back there. Okay, so now we gotta blind the eye on top of the temple. There we go. Finally. We finally made it to the Air Forge. You like how it's a bunch of squiggly lines on the door, and when you change it back to like the new graphics, it's just clear squiggly lines. They didn't really enhance it all that much. Look at it. It's kind of blurry now, and now it has more detail, but it's still just the same lines drawn all over again. This is actually my favorite temple in the entire game. Or my favorite forge in the entire game, rather.
The scenes I discovered here were unambiguous. This race of winged beings, the architects of the pillars and the creators of the Reaver, were Nosgoth's first vampires. Their bloodthirst appeared to be a curse, inflicted upon them by their vanquished enemies. These images confirmed the truths that Cain had divulged to me, but I had been too incredulous to accept. I struggled in vain to see how the pieces fit together. How Cain intended to escape the dilemma of his destiny, and what role he had plotted for me, and why Mobius and the dark powers with which he seemed to be allied were so desperate to see Cain dead, and so intent on me being the instrument of his execution.
Yeah, you're not gonna find the answer in those murals, Razio. You like how the only thing that changes is just the red gem light right up there? Funny, I think it actually looked better in the old graphics, right? Because look at the PS2 graphics. Okay, you can see it has some detail there. Now the surface around it looks more detailed, but then the light itself changed to just this pinkish type of light. So, damn, it's funny. I think this actually looked better before they remastered it than now with the remastered graphics. Look at that. Yeah, this one actually had more texture to it, so that's insane that it actually looks worse with the new textures than it did in the old one. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, even the old frame around it, you can see there that clay type frame, like something kind of an Aztec temple. It actually looked better before. So yeah, not good. Aspire, not good at all. Look at that, there's barely a change here. Except for, like I said, the light's looking worse for some reason. I think the problem is this is what happened when they had Reyna Audrin. She took over for the project, but the problem is she had already done a ton of work, not remastering but enhancing the original Soul Reaver 1 with the HD mod that she put out, and that was pretty excellent. But she hadn't had a chance to get around to working on 2, and so where they pulled this project out of the blue, I guess they needed to do it quickly, which is why she wasn't given enough time to prepare. So I think if they had just given her more time, it probably would have turned out much better. But unfortunately, I think they kind of rushed it, since they already had most of her texture work for Soul Reaver 1, which she did for the Dreamcast version. I guess they kind of figured, well, we can just use that for Soul Reaver 1, and then we can just half-ass the second game. You know, it's not as great compared to Soul Reaver 1, so we can just half-ass that one, and no one will really care, you know. Because compared to the remastering of the first game, you can tell this one was rushed. See, look, there's barely a difference in the graphics, so. It still looks pretty good, the area itself. I just wish the attention to detail here was as clear as it is in Soul Reaver 1 Remaster. Oh, I think we used the wrong Reaver. I think it was supposed to be the Dark Reaver, not the light one. Oh no, we stand on the sun. Okay, we stand on the sun symbol. There we go. Nice. Go into the light, Rocio. So when I was in community college a long time ago, I'm talking like 15 years at least, I was doing a project on a web page design. We had to design our own website devoted to anything we wanted to. We could choose anything: sports, movies, films, business, whatever you wanted to. I chose to devote a web page solely to the Legacy of Kain series, and I actually used this as one of my primary examples of why the series was worth admiration and why it counts as a work of art. And this level right here was pretty much my central argument for it, because if you look at it, this is some pretty detailed work for the PS2 era video games, and you can tell they really put a lot of artistic thought into this and consideration and design. Like I said, this is probably one of my top 10 favorite settings in all of video games, and I genuinely think this entire area is a good argument for why video games can count as art, because this right here, this type of level design, this is pure artistic talent right here. These are not people just messing around trying to design something that looks sort of good for a video game. This is just putting hours and hours and hours of manpower into designing this whole area and thinking of the artistic features, thinking of the cultural features. You know, what does it reflect about the people who created it? You know, and borrowing from different styles of architecture in the real world. Like obviously the Aztec influence is pretty obvious in this section, but there's some other influences too. So I just think this one section right here, if nothing else, makes a good argument, and a really good argument, for why Soul Reaver 2 should be qualified as art. know, there's level design, and then there's this area right here. You won't find anything like this on a Super Nintendo game or PS1 game, or even a lot of PS2 games or Nintendo 64 or anything. It's just well, maybe Nintendo 64 can match it with the Zelda regions. I've never played those games, but I can tell they have a lot of pretty damn good art put into them. But yeah, it's just a very unique and very well designed and creatively designed area. If only they had kept the lights intact in the remasters. Look at that. That looks way better than just this generic pinkish gem. Now there is a trophy for pulling off all the finishes in the game, so let's take one of these axes and chop somebody in half. But yeah, this to me right here is pure art. Even back then when I was much younger, I recognized it as art. Like, I wonder how many countless hours it took them to design this place. And putting all these little details in it. God damn it, come on! That's how you gotta do it, I guess. You gotta just ambush them. There we go, got one. Sorry for the camera going wild. Trying to kill this guy without getting killed again. Got him. At least the demons give you back some pretty significant energy. But we missed the other one though. Now we gotta deal with these guys. Look at that, chopped cleanly in half. Got split. Getting a lot of trophies in this one. God damn it. Can you let me absorb the souls, please? There you go. Guy thinking he's a badass out here. Look at that. This one even shows you like the... almost looks like a band-aid, but I think that's the stick generating the energy, isn't it? You don't even see that in the remastered version. I wonder who was in charge of that particular detail right there for the remaster. Because whoever it is, they screwed it up. God damn. Like, I hate to keep drawing attention to it, but god damn, look at how beautiful this looks with that iridescent effect compared to this plain crap. Like, god damn, they really screwed up those gem lights. What about this one? Nah, minimal change. So this one at least still looks good. That's the main centerpiece of the temple. Oh yeah, they screwed up all the lights. It looks like they screwed up the blue and green ones too. Everything else looks fine. So there's an angry looking face, so I guess some of the people who created this, you can see obviously the Aztec or maybe Mayan inspiration in this level. I'm definitely thinking more Aztec than Mayan. Especially with the snake right there. I'm also thinking that because Blood Omen 1 had a level that was very clearly inspired by Aztec architecture. It was the Lost World. Or the Lost City, rather. Where Cain could only teleport there on certain days, on certain hours, during a full moon. And it was very clearly inspired by Aztec architecture. Okay, so these actually look a lot more natural, so it's weird. Why did they screw up the red lights when the green ones are actually a lot more of an improvement? I don't get it. Who was responsible for that travesty? Because look at that, look at how clean this looks compared to the previous version. This is the PS2 version. So it looks okay. But then you compare it here, it has a lot more detail, so who the hell did those red lights? Because whoever it is, they screwed it up big time. Holy shit. They look like crap. What the hell? Look at that, it's glitched. What in the... Who the hell did this one? I'm guessing that's what the update I keep putting off would handle. It would rectify that little glitch. But whatever, for now the guy's in a box. He's in a box. So we have to bring him his heart. Now, I wonder, is the other guy like that also? Or is it all of them? Or is it just this one dude? Like I said, I'm guessing that's what the update that I keep putting off until I finish the game, I'm guessing that's what it actually handles. Fixing little stuff like that. But I never want to update games until I finish them at least once. Oh yeah, they're all covered in boxes. You can tell, that's one of the things the update is meant to fix. So we'll get around to that later. I might as well have one trophy where it's the old school Razio. You know, with the old graphics instead of the new remastered graphics. So we need to go find these guys, they're 3 hearts. However, there is a trophy for putting in the wrong one, which is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna put in the wrong one instead of putting like the green and the red. I mean, in the green and the green, we're gonna put in the red or the blue. We're intentionally gonna put the wrong heart in the wrong body just to see what happens. Let's get rid of this fool easily. Split him in half. Oh, and Defiance is actually in the PSN right now. It's available for purchase and as a part of PSN Plus, or PS Plus rather, so you can actually go and play that. I might end up doing that instead, because I have to get a PS Plus membership for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I might just end up playing Defiance that way instead of buying it right away. Just to check out that PS Plus business, because I only had it for like a couple months before, and it was only just to play Battlefront, and that turned out to be a huge mess, so I never played more than a couple of hours of that. And I think I didn't play any of the online modes, so I'm curious to see what it's actually like how good the emulation is and stuff like that. Before that, we're probably going to play Blood Omen 2. Even though I don't really like that game, I liked it a lot more the first time I played it. After that, it kind of soured on me. But we should play that first, so I can explain a couple things. Plus, it has a really good Eternal Prison level, which is one of the best settings in the game. I mean, in the series. But yeah, I might just play Defiance through the PS Plus feature just to see what it's like. Wait a second, so what do we have to do here? Because we have that platform here. Oh, I see. Gotta get up here. There we go. Oh yeah, and the wind's gonna push you all the way over there. But first, we have to go activate it. So we gotta go all the way up here first. Activate this setting right here. That's gonna create a shadow bridge to get us across the chasm, and we can pull out this nifty block right over here. That's how we reach the heart. I think if that falls on Razio, it kills him instantly. You gotta come back from the spectral realm. I think it kills him instantly. And here's Razio thinking he'd escaped all the box puzzles after Soul Reaver 1. Nope, here's some more box puzzles that you gotta do. Because everybody loves classic box puzzles. Am I right? Everybody just loves messing around with those blocks in games, right? I remember one of the big selling features of this game when it first released compared to its predecessor was, in fact, that since you had access to greater hardware with the PS2, that they were going to be able to do light and shadow based puzzles. That was a huge selling point for sure. I don't think we were meant to grab that just yet. I think we should have gone somewhere else first. I think we should have blinded the eyeball over there again so we could climb back up. Because now it's not gonna let us. Unless we just go into the spectral realm. Yeah, it's not gonna let us. See, look at that instant doom. Can we climb up here? Alright, we can. Okay, so we have the Dark Reaver over here. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this section of the game. Probably haven't played it in years, so... Oh, I see. Gotta grab the light reaver from over here. And I think we should be able to hit it from up here. Yeah, so that block is not meant to go up here. I think it's meant to go over here somewhere. Because we don't need it to reach this place. this works. God damn it, Razia, why are you so freaking slow? Come on. Why is he so slow? And of course there's no souls to devour here, so you gotta go hunt down these freaks. See, we need to get over here and hit that with the light reaver. The problem is, how do we get around the eye? Because I've completely forgotten how to do this puzzle. I know we need to use the block, but what does the block do? There was obviously a reason we pulled it out. But what does it actually do? I wonder if we can blind them. Let's see, I think maybe we can blind them and have enough time to, there we go. Have enough time to get the light reaver. And Razia would just not run over here like a turtle. Alright, we made it, finally. There we go. We just had to hit him close up because it wasn't doing anything by hitting him from a distance. There we go. Let there be light. Yeah, because when you're far away from it, it's not looking at you, so the light reaver, the dark reaver has no effect. So you gotta basically you gotta go up close, hit it then, and then you go back and get the light reaver. There we go. Let's get that beating heart. See, this one looks a lot better now. That one looks like an actual beating heart this time, not just some red crystal. So I don't know why they screwed up the light so badly in those sections over here, where they just look like pink rocks stuck on the wall. I don't know why they screwed them up that badly. Whoever it was probably not doing their best work, that's for sure. Yeah, look at how beautiful they were before. Now they just look like ass. So that's gonna close, and we're gonna need the Dark Reaver again. Now, which one was green? Was this one? So here's we're gonna put it in the green one just to see what happens. I always thought this puzzle was so cool when I was young, having to put the beating hearts in the sacrifice victims. The censored sacrifice victims. That also shows you the ancients who built this place might not have been as noble as Raziel believes if they were carrying out living sacrifices. We don't know if it was human sacrifice, but it's definitely living sacrifices. So let's put it in the green one and watch everything go haywire. Damn, killed him in one hit. Your sacrifice was rejected. That was not the right color, Raziel. But it's not a big deal. Now we just go back and get the actual one. As soon as we find a portal. I think these guys reset every time you finish a section. So you gotta be constantly killing them off to get back the Reaver. So let's go get that heart again. We're gonna ignore these guys since I think as soon as we get the heart they disappear, so we're just gonna ignore them. You wonder who those people were that they put inside there to guard that thing. You think they were oh, the heart is not here. Huh. I guess we have to get it back from down over here. Yeah, you wonder, were these volunteers or were they prisoners of war who got forced into doing this for all eternity, just guarding that tomb or temple? See you guys. Okay, so we went over to the green one, right? Alright, let's take that heart over to its proper place. Which would be the red one over here. You know what else I want to play? I kind of want to play Resident Evil 0. I don't believe that I've ever played that for YouTube. I think I've only played it myself, and I've only played it a couple times because it's so difficult without the item box. And with the hook shot and switching between Billy and Rebecca, but I actually like Rebecca and Billy, so think I might want to play that soon. Maybe after we finish Silent Hill F. It's one of those games. It's not a great Resident Evil game, and I don't think it's quite as bad as people make it out to be. The main problems are the hook shot and the lack of an item box, and switching between Billy and Rebecca at certain inconvenient opportunities. You know, certain inconvenient times where it's better to be one character or the other. Actually, most of the time it's better to be Billy, except that Billy can't mix herbs. Only Rebecca can mix herbs. You'd think Billy would have learned that in the Marines, but apparently not. Apparently they did not teach him how to mix healing herbs properly, and the value of using them to treat your wounds. So only Rebecca can do that with her mixed case. Alright, so let's go over to light now. It might be fun. I heard there's actually a way to cheese pretty much all of the bosses in the entire game, so I might want to try that out as well. Also, that game gives you a very early, intriguing preview at what a Resident Evil 2 remake would have looked like had they done it at the time. There's actually a section in that game that completely takes a section from RE2 and just redoes it in new graphics. And they did it so well that people thought it was a duplicate laboratory, and it's the actual Umbrella laboratory from RE2. It's not a copy. It's not some other Umbrella facility, it's the same exact one. So this forge does take you quite a bit of time to do. It is a pretty lengthy one. But like I said, it's very well designed. I think it's worth it. The worst one in terms of the design is actually coming up, which is the Fire Forge, much later on in the game. That one I don't like as much either because it's too simple. And it's almost like you're rushing through that whole section for story reasons, so it's convenient, but at the same time it's not as well crafted, I think, as some of these forges are. I think this one and the dark forge are pretty much the best in the game. Then you have the light forge, which is okay, and then the fire forge, which is the worst. Like, it's not bad, but it's just from a design standpoint, it's by far the worst. Damn, the wind pushes you back. Wow, it is storming outside. Okay, so you cannot leave the area. Okay, so we gotta figure out a way to get the to get the Dark Reaver without leaving the area, because the doors close on you and then you have to reactivate it. So how can we get up there? How can we get up there and get that Dark Reaver without going back? Because that's gonna push us back. Yeah, what are we missing? There's gotta be something we're not seeing. We can reach up there just by ourselves. So what are we not seeing? Is there a way to climb over here? Nope. So what are we missing then? Yeah, the wind pushes you back, so I wonder how you're supposed to do it. Like I said, I haven't played this section in probably like 5 or 6 years at least, so I just completely forgot all this. And how to deal with those two annoying pests right over there. Oh, there we go. When in doubt, just try the Spectral Realm. Do we have any souls we can eat? Does not look like it. Looks like we'll have to recover energy naturally. Doesn't look like there's anything we can consume. Yeah, I know there's scavengers down there, but we can't go down or else we're gonna lose the ability to climb back up. Because you can't scale walls in the Spectral Realm. It's not too much of an issue, we just gotta wait. Alright, there we go. Let's kill this guy once and for all. There you go. Not so tough now, are you? This one too. And now we can go over here. There it is, right there. They should have put at least a few souls here in this area so that you didn't have to wait all this time to recharge, because the thing is you can't go down there, because if you do you won't be able to climb back up, so it'll be the same issue. So all you can do is just wait for your health to replenish so you can eventually activate the portal and go up there. Oh yeah, because I think we're supposed to climb that thing. And that's how we get over to the other side. Yeah, but they could have stuck at least a few souls right there so you could consume. Yeah, I see it now. Because you gotta activate the shadow bridge. You gotta activate this. Grab the light reaver. Climb on top of that thing right there, right on the side of the platform. And then you can go light up the crystal. Yeah, they should have put at least a few souls there so we could regain our energy more easily. Alright, we got the green heart. Must belong to the Hawk. The Hawk of Nosgoth. Maybe there was an ancient who was exposed to gamma radiation. He became the Hawk. Or at least his insides with the color of the Hawk. I do think it's a cool detail that it leaks blood the same color even across the shadow bridge. So we only got one section left to do after this. Let's put it here in the magical mystery box. Oh, I also pre-ordered Superman on 4K. They came up with this lenticular cover, which looks really nice. The steelbook was a bit too expensive for me. I didn't buy it because I just didn't see the value in it for $44.99. But the lenticular one from Walmart actually looks pretty cool. It's basically transitions over from Clark Kent to Superman. And it's the same price as the regular one, so you might as well go for that one. Yeah, the steelbook, I didn't like that it was just a Fortress of Solitude on the cover, and then Superman and Krypto were inside, in smaller size, but I would have preferred it if they just did Superman and the Fortress of Solitude on the cover. I would have gotten it there, but the Fortress by itself, not really a big fan of that. This is the correct path, right? We're looking for the regular Reaver path. Let's see, we got that one. Oh no, it's this one. It's the sword. So this is the last one we have to get. After this, we can go activate the Air Forge. We got the blue one. They also came up with the Fantastic Four steelbook, but I don't know whether to pre-order that or not because I'm kind of pissed at Disney recently for various reasons, and now they announced they're raising the price again. So it's like, damn, you just keep raising the prices. They just keep raising the prices on those on Disney Plus and all those services, Hulu, ESPN. So I don't know if I want to give them any more money. But the steelbook does look good though. It does look quite good. And they've even got a version that's $75, I think, and they give you a comic book and a whole bunch of other collectibles, but that's too much. Like, I'm not spending $75 for one movie unless that's the Beyond, with its super mega ultra stuffed version, 4K, that has like everything. It has like 6 versions of the Beyond, and it has a whole book, not a booklet, a whole book about the Beyond. It has the soundtrack. Yeah, I can see that being worth $75 or $80, but Fantastic Four by itself, give me a break. Come on, that is not worth $70 by itself. Hell no. What is it made out of? Gold? It has cosmic energy. It gives you superpowers. Like, why is it so damn expensive? So I don't know what to do about that one. I might just end up getting the regular version eventually. It is a good movie, and I did like it, but Disney's got to stop with his greed. They're getting way too greedy and out of hand way too quickly. Like that price increase came way too fast after the last one. And after they just got into some controversy too, and now, because, you know, the first thing you all want to do after getting out of controversy is cause more controversy by raising the prices. And you had already raised them like the previous month or the previous 2 months too. So it's like, god damn. Netflix is doing the same junk too. They're raising prices only like 2 or 3 months after they already raised them before. It's like, how much money do you guys need? You're already freaking multi-billion-dollar companies. How much money do you need? Jeez. They want streaming to be the future, but then they're trying to price out everyone away from that future. So what's the whole freaking point? What's the point in raising your what's the point in promoting your services as the future if no one's going to be able to afford it? Except the very rich. That's insane. And for $70, that movie should come with like an autographed picture signed by Pedro Pascal of Reed Richards. For that price, $75 freaking, Jesus. I don't think even the Wolverine and Deadpool steelbook, or Deadpool and Wolverine steelbook, was that expensive. Like, for that amount of money, they better damn well give you Pedro Pascal's autograph for that amount of money, because Jesus, holy Christ, $75 for one movie. One movie by itself. Come on, man. At that point, you might as well just toss in all the previous other Fantastic Four movies, the previous 2 that weren't quite as bad. You can ignore the last one from Fox that was downright horrible, but you might as well toss in 2 extra movies for that price. Because Lord knows nobody else is going to buy those Fantastic Four movies unless they include them in a bundle of some kind. They suck. Like, they're not as bad as the one that's just called Fantastic. That one's horrible, but yeah, nobody's gonna be buying 4Ks of those movies anytime soon. Might as well just toss them in there along with the rest of the crap. We went the wrong way. Damn, we went completely the wrong way. Yeah, we had to go over there first. This is what we want to do. We want to close this up. Maybe it's open. Maybe that one stays open. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that one stays open. Maybe we gotta open that one over there. Wait a sec, what the hell? So wait a minute. Oh, I see, because now we use the wind to get over there. There we go. Okay, I see it. We pull that one down. Now we have both. Oh, we have this one. Now we can get the Dark Reaver. Go over there. Blind the eyeball sentry guard right there. And open up the door, I assume. There we go. Now we can use the shadow bridge. So do we have enough time to rush over there? How long does it last? Let's see. Oh, it actually lasts quite a bit. Oh, but then we can't get the What do we need to open up that door? Maybe we need the light Reaver. Let's see. Maybe we need this one to open up the other side so we can more easily cross over. Alright, so let's pull it down. Okay, we go over here. Yeah, let's see if this works. Oh yeah, there it is right there. We can open it now. Alright, awesome. Oh, because the shadow bridge stays. This one doesn't disappear. I thought it was a temporary one like all the others, but this one actually stays here. Okay. Now we can get the crystal. My bad. I thought it was a temporary one like the others, but that one actually stays in place. So now we got the last heart. Let's go put that sucker in to the final sacrificial victim. Actually, knowing what I know about the ancients who designed this place and who they really are, I wonder if these sacrifice victims were actually the victims, if they were their enemies from the war. Like maybe they're not just humans, or they're not volunteers or whatever. Maybe I think they might actually be the enemy combatants that they're sacrificing to their god, who we don't know who or what it is yet, but I think it might actually be their enemy soldiers that they're sacrificing. So let's get back to its body. This is the last one, so now we should be able to activate the air forge. Let's hope nothing glitches. Look at that. Look at that. We should use that as a screenshot for the video so that we can tell it's censored right there. That's too graphic for Sony. Let's go stick the heart in the box. Yeah, Razia knows better now. That's why he hides behind the wall over there. He knows better now than to stay up there while that thing's being activated. Yeah, I want to finish all these games before I start on Silent Hill F. I want to finish this. I want to finish Silent Hill 1, and I want to finish Spyro. Also, Spyro 1. I want to finish that too, so we can move on. So we got all the different parts that we needed. Now we just have to go. First, let's take care of this guy. think we have to use the wind to float all the way up to the surface. Oh yeah, here we go. Nice. So there's the hole for the air forge. I think we should be done. I think we just gotta put it right in there. Let's see. Oh no, what else do we need to activate it? Oh, we gotta hit it with the light and the dark. Yeah, we need the last one. That guy can just stay down there. There we go, we finally solved it. The good old air forge. Like I said, I haven't played this section of this game in like 5 years, so I just completely forgot how to do that puzzle for a bit, but it's all coming back now. It's all coming back now that I'm actually seeing it. Man, I thought this was so cool when I was young. Look at all these effects. And look what happens when you put in the blade. Look at this. It's like those demons Shang Tsung summoned in the first Mortal Kombat movie when he was announcing the tournament. The spirits or whatever. The dragons. This is some extra stuff on the part of the ancients who designed this place. Look at that. Listen to the hiss of the air. Now I thought this was so cool when I was young, when he just plunges that sword right into there. Look at that. Look at all those rays. Those rays of electricity. Lighter even than Kane, I get it.
As the Reaver drained the forge of its vital energy, the tempest receded. I recovered myself and paused to admire my newly forged weapon, now imbued with the elemental power of air. Thus armed, I hoped that I now finally possessed the means to escape this wasted land.
Yeah, we got the Air Reaver. Yeah, that thing rumbled. On the PS2 controller, that thing rumbled like hell. It was like shaking like it was an earthquake. I always thought that was a pretty damn cool thing. Like you could feel how much force was behind there. Let's take one more snapshot for posterity. Look at that. Raziel with the Air Reaver. Amazing nobody else has discovered this place, right? With how massive it is and that storm constantly raging. I guess the circle members, including Mobius, knew to keep away. They knew to keep people away from here and keep them from asking too many questions. And the demon hunters in this era probably just continue ignoring it since they can't get in anyway. So we can activate those things. Hold R1 to glide straight up. Now what's cool about this is you can actually use the Air Reaver to destroy these barriers. The Reavers all function like keys in this one, so it's not as exciting as in the first game where they each had different abilities. Like you could tear apart enemies with the Reaver, although this one does too, but you had that one special strike, and then you could also have the Fire Reaver that set enemies on fire. Here they function like keys. But this one at least lets you do something besides just open doors.
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised. At last, I had the means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago in the swamp. Now, perhaps, I could leave this wasteland and return to an era when Janos Ordrin still lived.
Yeah, perhaps, Raziel, unless you run into any more trouble. Alright, let's say goodbye to the Air Forge. It's been a blast, but we gotta go now. As much as I admire the architecture here and the art, we gotta go now. So we are nearing the final stretch of the game. The last, I'd say, not the last third of the game, maybe like the last fourth of the game. I guess now it's sealed permanently, so nobody can open it now. Let's get the hell out of there before the thing kills us. Let's just ignore all these guys. We don't need to fight them. We can actually see where the hell we're going. Really? Listen here. Damn, he's floating in midair. Look at that. Was he in midair or was he on a ledge? Oh no, he's at the very end of the ledge. God damn it. You know what, let's just leave him there. Who cares? We got bigger fish to fry. We gotta get back to the past. Hey, look at that airlift. I guess that's for lifting an enemy in the air with the sword. Alright, so we gotta get back to the Vista. So it's interesting how they tried to build all these stairways up to the tower there, but they could never quite reach him. I wonder how many of them he took out before they would come close to completing each section. Because when you're overseeing them like that, you're overlooking them from that point of view. It should be very easy to ambush them. I never thought of that before. How many of them did he kill to stop them from completing those stairways? Let's ignore this whole freak parade right here. We don't need to deal with these guys. Yeah, let's ignore all that crap. Jesus, get the hell out of here. Now, which direction do we have to go in? That one or the other one? I think it might be the other one over here, this one. I like fighting the green ones, the green demons, but we don't have time for that. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the gate to the village. Let's unlock that. So we got quite a few trophies in this one. I think it was like 4, right? So we got a lot of trophies in this segment. So we're not gonna save here. We're gonna try to go back to the past, so we can avoid all these dogs and weirdos and demons out here in the street. Ah, damn, we do have to deal with them. Sorry, dog. Yeah, they locked the gate on us, so... Sorry, dog, but we had to take you out. There was no other choice. That's a long way to backtrack too. Look at that. That's also one complaint a lot of people have about this game, that it's a lot of backtracking too. You don't really explore as many different areas as you did in the original. You just kept marching forward. Yeah, there was some backtracking there, but it was mainly for optional stuff. Here it's mandatory, and the levels are very, very linear, and I think that's one thing that bugs a lot of people about this game too. You know? God damn, dog, get the hell out of here. Listen, pooch, back off. You know what? These guys get the Reaver. Screw it. Damn, dog. Look what you maybe did. You couldn't just let me climb up there all by myself. You had to stick your nose in where it didn't belong. How do we get back up there?
Get it!
I'm not even gonna eat that guy. That's how irrelevant he is. I'm not even gonna feast on him. He can just die. Let's get back to the sewers. I mean, to the swamp. The sewers. I'm thinking of the sewer level. I saw somebody else playing earlier from Dying Light 2. There's some of the mutants. Which direction is it again? I think it's that way, right? think there should be a safe point. Well, there is a safe point, but it should be near, right there. So it should be near the area where we need to break into. Let's see if we can avoid all these mutants and weirdos over here. God damn it, we're going in circles. At least we can move quickly now. I guess because of the rain, it kind of made the swamp easier to navigate. So you're not getting stuck in the mud. Oh no, it is this way. God damn it, we're going in circles. Yeah, we gotta leave this time era behind. This time period is way too nasty for us. We're gonna leave this shit behind. Okay, so we always gotta head north on the compass. Yeah, let's leave this godforsaken place behind. Jesus. You can't follow me in here, guys. Can they? No, they cannot. So you know what we're gonna do? To that Tyrannosaurus looking guy right there, look at that. Oh, he moved. I thought maybe we could kill him with the force projectiles. The good old TK that we got from what was his name? Morlock, the Tomb Guardian in Soul Reaver 1. Supposed to be Terrell, but then they cut him out. Wonder if there's any consequence of bringing a weapon from the future into the past, if it's not the Soul Reaver. Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? Alright, here we go. Our final trip through time. Hopefully. Now watch this. This is kind of funny if you think about it.
I had no choice but to act purely on blind faith. There was no way to tell what era this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will to the hand of fate.
Alright, we're here. Wherever we are, or whenever we are. We still got our sword from the future, even though it looks primitive as hell.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the era I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Audrin still lived, I would find him. But I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
Now come on, Razio, you know damn well that machine is not going to be set at random to the exact time period that you need. I know he just said that, but come on, you have to suspect some type of trap, obviously. Like maybe you should hesitate before going over to Janos, considering this is obviously clearly some type of trap laid out for you. Like you should just ask Kane for help. You know, waited around to see if Kane would show up. Because Kane probably knows how to set the machine properly. He's done it several times. But like, come on. Like he said himself, he suspects it's not just a coincidence. So why would you head straight over to Janos' place when you know you're likely walking into some type of trap? Come on, man. Use your brain. You know Kane is watching you from beyond, you know, from just beyond your reach. Like you should have just asked Kane for help. Ask Kane to set the machine. And although obviously later it'll become clear that he kind of had no choice, but still it's like his line of thinking, like, come on dude, you know this has to be some type of trap. There's no way in hell that random machine just lying there unused for like 500 years or who knows, 1,000 years, however long it's been. There's no way that machine would be set to the exact appropriate year that you need. Come on, man. You know it's got to be some type of trap. The question is, what type of trap is it? Damn, look at that frog. It's got boosties. Look at that. That frog's just jumping all over the place. It's purple too. Alright, so we're gonna save over here. But yeah, it's like, come on, man. You know this is clearly a trap, obviously. So why the hell would you head straight for Janos' place when you know there's probably something nasty waiting for you there? Come on, this is very clearly an obvious setup by Mobius if there ever was one. Like, come on, man. You should have just waited for Kane or tried to give him some type of signal to help you out. As always, we're going to save down here just in case we run into any difficulties with the recording. I miss those save points too. Like, they're not as convenient as saving wherever you want like you do in Defiance, but I do miss these creative types of save points, like the Blood Omen fountains and this thing with the sword right here, and they make it seem like it's a part of the actual environment, you know, it's a monument to the Reaver rather than just, oh, you can save anywhere at any time. Like, that's obviously much more convenient, but I kind of miss these save structures too. They look just like the fountains in Blood Omen, you know, they're themed around the central character and the story, but they're also fitting pretty well with the environment. It's kind of cool. Okay, so that was the I noticed they didn't change much in the save area either. Look at it, there's barely any textures. There's barely any texture difference between the two of them. But yeah, that was the Air Forge. Not much story there because we're obviously between the major cutscenes between Kane and if or when he'll find Janos Audrin, so not much story to speak of in this segment. But like I said, I do enjoy visiting the Air Forge because I think it's one of the best areas in the game, if not the best area. It's certainly the most beautiful looking area in the game. That's why I built a whole website around that one section, showing off how it deserved to be called art. You know, how this game in particular should qualify as an example of art in video games. Obviously I included more stuff like the characters and other settings, but this was the centerpiece right there, the Air Forge. I still think even years later, yeah, we've seen a lot of very beautifully designed areas in Bloodborne, that Shadow of the Colossus game, and Zelda games and so forth, Tomb Raider games even, but you know, Uncharted 2, but considering what they were working with in the PS2 era, the limitations they had, and how quickly Eidos would also make them put out the games, they didn't give them proper time to finish the games, you know, properly, because this game was very ambitious and it ended up fulfilling only like maybe 65 or 60% of that ambition. A lot of the other stuff just got plain cut from the game because there was not enough time to finish it, or there was no time to even start it. Like the Spirit Forge that we'll see a bit of later on, a lot of stuff just plain got cut from the games. But considering the limitations of the PS2 era, what we know now, I think they did a pretty fantastic job in that Air Forge, you know, designing an area, a level that wasn't just a standard typical tempo in a video game. It was actually pretty much a work of art in its own right. So I always enjoy visiting that section, even if I did forget how to do the puzzles for quite a bit there, but it's all coming back to me. So next up we are heading further into the swamp in search of Janos Audrin, and to see what this time period can teach us about ourselves and what is meant to be our destiny. And I'm sure we'll also run into Kane and Mobius and all those other characters at least one more time before the game ends. But that's it for now. Like I said, I'm trying to finish up these games before Silent Hill F, so I'll probably have just 1 or 2 more videos of this, but I'm definitely going to start Silent Hill F either on Sunday or Monday, one of those two. So I have that to look forward to, but we'll get through this game, and then I'll also play Blood Omen 2, which is much less spectacular than this game, but it's still worth a playthrough. You know, I recommend, you know, it's a game you might only play once, but I think you should play it at least once just to see it. And then we have Defiance, which is the final chapter of the series so far. There's talk about making a new game, possibly, but so far nothing concrete has actually appeared. So as far as we know, for now, Defiance is the last piece of the Legacy of Kain story. And that game is pretty good from the combat wise. You know, the combat is pretty good. I just wish you could actually explore in that game, because they kind of cut the exploration in favor of the combat, and it didn't quite work out like they expected, but we'll get to all that eventually. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time on Soul Reaver 2 Remastered Edition on the PS4. See you later, everyone.